Good afternoon here, Ramatech from the Southwest Railroad with a little mail call. Well, not exactly these two engines, but two identical engines. Well, I guess it would have made sense if I had to turn that bottom box upright, but give me a second and we'll see what we're talking about. Up top, we got a Rapido 44 Turner switcher locomotive in red, undecorated. And at the bottom, we got a Genesis GP50 in Burlington Northern with the red and black tiger stripe nose. So basically, the 44 tonner is not really going to replace this one here. It's just going to be an add-on. I kind of, originally I wanted the Southern Pacific orange and black tiger stripe, but I decided no, I want to do something different with it. So when I'm done, when it's all said and done, it's going to be decorated just like this one for Southwest Railroad. Only it's going to be red instead of black. And this GP50, which I had for a while, is going to be paired with the tiger nose, or the tiger stripe rather. And that's the plan. But I'm really interested in this here. This is what I've been waiting for a long time. So back to the original 44 tonner I had. This is, I think, maybe the third or fourth DCC locomotive I ever purchased. I had this probably over 20 years. And I remember I paid exactly $40 for it. It's a good running locomotive. It's a good locomotive. I can't say exactly good because it's not a slow running locomotive like I wanted to. I mean, it's a switcher. I prefer if it ran slow, but it's a Bachmann, and unfortunately the motor is crappy, so that's why I can't get that slow speed performance that I want. So I'm gonna shut up and I'm gonna open these boxes up, and we're gonna see if that Rapido 44 Turner does the job. Okay, so this is not really going to be a review as far as performance, everything. I'm going to just basically take it out of the box and show you what it looks like up close and everything. So the GP50, which is unusual, it actually has two manuals. And this manual here mainly has like the decoder functions and everything. And the second one actually has GP50 wrote on it. And it has sound functions and all the different CV settings and everything, in addition to the cutaways and all the parts that you need if you ever have to replace it or fix it. And let's move on to the locomotive itself. Like I said, I'm not going to really do a review. I'm going to put it on the tracks. We're going to play with the horn, bell, all that good stuff. Then I'm going to jump to the 44 tonner. We got tape on it. Take that out the box. Oops. Be careful here. Put that on the track. Move this crap out the way. So as you can see, it starts up immediately after you put it on the tracks. This is Burlington Northern 3141. This is GP50 by EMD. Let's see what we got with the bell. Oops. Well, it makes sense to put on the right engine. The lights. It's muted, unmuted, got the beacon flashing, put it in reverse. It's a little jerky out of the box, but you know, as time goes and I break it in, it'll be okay. So I'm gonna give you a little close up on 3141. Like I said, it's the black and white, black and orange Tigris, right? So this is actually, I guess, a later phase of the GP50. The GP50 in the back. So this is an earlier phase rather. If you notice, it has like that beacon or gyro light in the nose. Gyro light in the nose, and I believe these were ex-Frisco units. Well, they came from when BN took over. These engines, like I said, came from Frisco, and I could see some of the details on the body is a little different. Not a lot of differences, but there's a few here and there I noticed. Especially like on the roof, you got the horn locations are different. Even a beacon is in a different location. This one has a firecracker antenna where that one does not. And well, the reason why this is sitting on a napkin, so when I took it out the box, it had a lot of oil dripping off the bottom, so I don't want to put it on the tracks or dirty up the tracks, so I got to clean that up sooner or later. The end details are basically the same, different paint job, of course. And the plan is to pair these two at some point, have them run as running mates. I do model BN. I only have, I think maybe this is probably number 6 or 7, and this probably be the last one. I don't need or have a desire to have a lot of BN units because BN is a host railroad on this layout. So I only have these locomotives to run occasionally and basically for intermodal jobs. So that's their serve purposes on this railroad. And last but not least, we're going to open up this 44 tonner, which I highly anticipate. Definitely, I know it's definitely going to outperform the Bachmann, no doubt about it. But I just want to see for myself. So we're going to unpack it and probably give this one a little test run, see how it manages itself. Okay, so we got the 44 out of the box. Got a nice manual. So the manuals are usually in English and French. So it's French on the other side, English on that side. Pretty thick manual too. So this locomotive does have sound. I'll take it out the box. Like I said, Rapido didn't offer this in an undecorated black. They had red, blue, and yellow. I could have went with a Southern Pacific or a Santa Fe or the Denver Rio Grande in black and just patched it out. But I decided I wanted to do something different. Southwest Railroad is a fictional railroad, so there's no wrong or right about what color the engines are or what they look like because it is fictional and it can look however I want it to look. So there's no wrong or right in that department. So let's crank this baby up. This has a low 5 sound decoder in it, I believe. Yes, it does. And it has what they call Mo power, which is similar to the Keep Alive resistors that you can put in other engines or that do come in certain engines. Unfortunately, I don't have any in my engine, so I'm going to crank this up. Now, I don't know why the horn came on. It might be because I had some of my functions already turned on. Could be it. So let's turn them off and we'll try them one by one. I didn't look at the manual, so I'm going to just randomly press some function keys and see what happens. So we already got lights on, I can see. Hit F1. F1's the bell. See, I have 2. Yeah, nothing. Yeah, definitely gotta look at the manual. So let's give it a little run back and forth, see how she performs. Now I have this step in speed step 128, and it's in speed step 1 and it's already moving. That's what I would like. So we got a slow runner here. Step 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it's a little slow in the steps. I'm up about step 7 right now. It should be moving a little bit faster. So I might have to either redo some adjusting or just put it in step 28 for the time being. Yeah, I might have to do that because this is step 23 and it's moving too slow. So let's put this at a stop and we'll try step 28. Speed step 1. This is 2, 4. And that's 6. So one thing I'm noticing off the back, it does tend to run a little bit slower than normal for most engines that I have, which would probably be good. I just gotta, I'm not gonna be able to use the 128 speed step. So we'll pause for a minute. I'm gonna set something up and we're gonna see how this bad boy performs through some turnouts and through the rest of the layout. All right, so I'm gonna send the bad boy down the tracks to pick up some cars up ahead, and we bring it back this way. Yep. Almost had a disaster there. So yeah, she does run very slow, which means I have to readjust my throttle skill with this thing. But overall, I'm happy because that's what I'm looking for. A switcher that has very slow running speed. Because after all, there's a switcher is not designed to be running at 90 miles an hour. So I'm impressed with it so far. Now I just got to get it to hook up on the other end. You can't see it a little out of camera range, but it's one of these deals where the couplers don't want to connect. Try it again. No, I guess not. Have to do it the old-fashioned way. So F3 is a flange swill. I do love that. That's the noise you hear. So definitely some differences between a Rapido and a Bachmann. Of course, a Rapido, not bad mouthing Bachmann, but of course, Rapido No, it's going to be a little more smoother. I think probably the biggest problem I have with the Bachmann is the motor. If it had a better motor, it'd probably be a better locomotive. But other than that, I really like it. It's not designed for slow speed. It's basically 0 and 30, nothing in between 0 and 30. So I can't do switching operations like that. So, like I said, I will decorate this at some point. I gotta get my decals together, see what I got, what's available, and see if I want to kind of duplicate it or do something slightly different. But overall, that's a Rapido. Um, it don't appear to have any cab detail, but that's okay. It's not important. One other little feature, I noticed it has a F on it indicating forward, because it took me a while to figure out which end was forward on this one. And then I think I reversed the decoder because it's actually running in reverse. So I figured it out. Meanwhile, I'll play around with this. Like I said, it's very slow. It's a very slow runner. Even in step 14, when I dropped it down to 14, it was extremely slow, which is good. It just means I have to readjust my, probably readjust the decoder maybe, or just leave it as it is and just operate from step 14 or 28. And like I said, the GP50s are going to be paired. Most likely the Tiger Strike is going to be the leader or the head runner. Haven't decided yet. Like I said, I got to figure that out. And I got to clean this one up the bottom. It's just leaking oil. I don't understand that some of these engines, when they sit a while, they leak a lot of oil uh, on the bottom, and then it just makes a mess. So I got to clean that up, and that's it. For now, that's the end of my little short mail call. See you soon. Have a good day and be safe.